I'm in Staffordshire, which borders my home county of Derbyshire. I've come to look at a style of walling which isn't often seen in this part of a county or country. These walls were built in the village of Stanton and were built in the herringbone pattern rather than regular coursed drystone. Herringbone walling is not decorative whimsy. In rural Staffordshire, it is almost always functional, economical, and shaped directly by the demands of the land. Walls in this county were often built from whatever stone lay to hand: thin limestone or sandstone slabs, irregular wedge-shaped fieldstones, and quarry waste rather than neatly dressed blocks. In these conditions, laying stone in neat horizontal courses would have been structurally risky. The herringbone pattern, with stones laid diagonally and alternating direction, creates interlocking pressure paths, so that each stone braces the next. This matters where stone thickness varies, edges are fragile, and there is constant lateral pressure from soil movement, livestock, or traffic along nearby routes. A straight coursed wall in such circumstances would slowly creep, belly, and fail. Herringbone construction resists that movement. This approach performs particularly well on slopes and banks, which is why herringbone walls so often appear beside holloways, sunken lanes, or at the edge of rising ground, where a wall must hold back a bank or terrace. A diagonal set allows downward force to be shed into the ground rather than pushed outwards, working like a form of angled buttressing in stone. In upland and edge of upland Staffordshire, where rain, freeze thaw, and slow slope movement are constant, this mattered far more than visual regularity. Drainage is another key factor. Herringbone walls shed water through their diagonal voids and avoid the formation of straight vertical channels that concentrate moisture and cause frost splitting. In Staffordshire, often heavy clay-rich soils, unmanaged water pressure is one of the main reasons there is wall collapse. This style allows a structure to breathe, letting water pass through rather than trapping it behind a rigid face. The method is also fast and economical. It suits situations where labour was available, but time and refinement were not priorities. Estate workers, farmhands, labourers who improving the land during the late enclosure and estate improvement periods. It makes use of minimum shaped stone, mixed sizes and quarry spoil, pointing strongly to 18th or early 19th century agricultural or estate work rather than medieval enclosure. These walls were built to work, not to make a statement. That distinction matters. Coursed drystone walls are often boundary statements, carefully finished and visually legible as property lines. Herringbone walls are infrastructure. They are practical, resilient, and intended to endure traffic, weather, and constant use. You tend to find them where the wall's role is containment, support, or edge control rather than display. This specific location at the bottom of a slope is exactly where herringbone construction makes the most sense. In this position, the wall is acting as a retaining structure as much as a boundary, holding back slow soil creep from uphill, resisting downslope pressure after heavy rain, and preventing the lane from being swallowed by mud. The diagonal stones channel force downwards into the ground, each one acting like a small brace. A horizontal coarse wall, they would gradually bulge and fail. Such a wall also protects the lane itself. Historic lanes were vulnerable places, battered by iron-rimmed car wheels, hooves striking the base of the walls and wagons scraping stone in tight bends. Herringbone walls are especially resistant to repeated lateral knocks. The angle stones absorb impact and tend to reseat themselves rather than popping out. This strongly suggests a wall built to control and protect the edge of the lane, not merely to sit beside it. Water coming off the slope reinforces this interpretation. At the foot of a slope, runoff is relentless. Herringbone construction breaks up vertical water paths, encourages diagonal drainage, and reduces frost damage in winter. In Staffordshire soils, a straight wall in that position will quickly be undercut. This design lets water move through without building pressure behind the stonework. Over time, lanes also have a habit of creeping and widening as carts avoid ruts and puddles. A solid, upright stone edge keeps the track narrow, defines its lane, and prevents the verge from collapsing. This is why herringbone walls so often appear alongside hollowways, sunken lanes, and old pack horse routes. They belong to the movement infrastructure of the landscape rather than to the open fields. Taken together, all of this suggests a wall most likely built in the late 18th or early 19th century during a phase of estate improvement or enclosure, constructed by agricultural labourers or estate masons, and intended primarily as a lane supporting and retaining structure. It is unlikely to be medieval and very unlikely to be decorative. If you read the wall closely on site, you may notice stones driven deeper at the base, a slight inward lean towards the slope, heavier stone concentrated on the uphill side or wear and polish near the lane edge from passing traffic. All are signs of a wall doing hard work over a long period. In essence, this wall exists because the land moves, the water runs, and the lane must survive. The herringbone pattern is the landscape speaking back through a craft, a quiet, practical intelligence built into stone. It is closely related to navvies, walls, and other trackside stonework, even when not built by navvies themselves. In short, it was built this way because the stone demanded it, the ground demanded it, and the job demanded strength over appearance. It is a land-led solution, not an aesthetic choice. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learnt a little about the herringbone style, which you can see in the background.